Good evening, Left Look listeners. Today is January 10th, 2023. I'm here with my best friends, DJ.
Hello.
And Jacob.
Hello, sir. Best friends again. Like it.
Yeah.
We got promoted.
Yeah. Well, it just depends how we're feeling every week.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Your mood got promoted.
Yeah.
Cool.
My mood was elevated.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
In the most innocent sense of the word.
I hope so.
This is Left Look, the premier independent podcast from the Gato Institute. We'll be taking a look at Canadian national arts, culture, and entertainment, provided with an unbiased left-wing perspective. LCGT premier podcast, independent Institut Gato, new restaurants sur l'art, la culture, la divertissement canadien, international, pour vous offrir une perspective impartial de gauche.
You put some, I don't know how to describe it, attitude into that.
Attitude.
I was slurring through it a little bit.
That costs breath. Man's only got one breath.
He does it all in one breath. I did notice that.
Yeah, it's his. That's the bit. Does it all in one breath.
I mean,
one breath, Julian. They call him.
Why did they call him that? It sounds so
I'll tell you when you're
sexual.
older.
Yeah.
Julian, I gotta wonder. I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Did you Google Translate that?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no way that's right?
Oh, there's some funny language in there, but from what I remember of my French years, has dulled my senses quite substantially.
I think I even put it in Quebecois French.
Really?
I think I did.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the core, it's not that different.
Yeah. The part that really stands out to me is new Pencheron. That
Right.
NOUS back to back.
Yeah.
That doesn't look right.
Yeah, that would be something along the lines of
That.
we are what's Pecheron? I don't know the verb
Looking?
off the top of my head. Looking?
Taking a look at.
Taking a look, investigating. I would think the base verb is, but yeah, the way it's used there is like we are investigating ourselves. Like I don't know. Usually when there's a double pronoun like that, that means the first pronoun is conjugated with the verb, and then the one in the middle there, just before the verb, is the one acting on. It's like the subject.
Would it help if you could see it? Do you want me to paste it?
No.
in the chat here?
Like the subject, the subject pronoun. I just lost the word pronoun. That's all. But it's the thing being acted on.
Here we go again.
Like,
with
we
these
are
fucking
investigating
pronouns.
on ourselves.
corporate-
Sorry.
I think corporate
would
handed down the fucking the blurb, and I think they're American at base, and they're funding dark pool money,
Who?
oil money, corporate. Whoever gave you that blurb, or whoever gave it to Charles, I gotta believe that they don't give a fuck about the Quebecois. They're just legally required. We care.
Yeah, covering their bases.
But the Percheron, new Percheron, it sounds not good to me. But whatever.
Yeah, a mouthful for sure.
Yeah.
I hadn't noticed until you broke it down though, because like as soon as you turn to French, I'm just like, oh yeah, there's a language I don't understand.
Oh yeah, yeah, and to Julian's dismay, there are way more pronouns in French.
Yeah,
That's true.
The biggest scam that was ever sold to our generation was that French is easier to learn than English. Just give me a break. Like, there's just no rules in English. You just do what you want. It's a trade language. It's just the best language because of it. Just fucking.
I don't know. I kind of like some rules in my language.
Too many rules make a language fucked. Look at German.
No, they make it easy.
Greek.
Oh
And
my
then you
God.
go, oh, what's the rule for that? I know this. Instead of English, you go, hey, what's the rule for that? Oh, it's not the rule. The
There's-
thing I learned doesn't matter.
There are
Oh,
loose
that only
rules.
makes it in the one
There are
thing.
loose rules that tap into Latin and Greek that make things easy for lots of people. But like I like no firm rules. At least it makes words more like painting than typing.
I think you're talking about poetry, dude.
Poetry is words. You just speak. Everything you say is poetry, in my opinion.
Oof.
It is the it is the objective of you trying to translate your thoughts into words, and it's unachievable. And every time, it just needs to be some kind of poetic interpretation of the thoughts.
Well, hang on now. I think in English.
Yeah, but your thoughts don't arise in English, right? You have to at least recognize that you have a material brain, right? And that electrons just fire up in certain areas, right? And so there is a point where there is a pre-word suspicion, an ephemeral ideal that you can point to behind every word.
Yeah, like the synopsis for strawberry.
Yeah.
And then just beyond that is like, oh yeah, the word.
And
just beyond that is the synopsis for Sunday.
But it doesn't only have strawberry behind it, right? It'll have fruit, it'll have fresh, it'll have nature, it'll have sun, it'll have Sunday. All these things just baked into it. Yeah, ice cream sundae in there. Yeah. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
yeah, I'm just being silly.
It as a newbie polyglot, often I find there's like a barrier, right, between thinking in your native language and then thinking. Like you gotta, like the synapses are still there, like Jacob said, right? But the synapse fires and you go, wait a minute, no, I don't want this filter. I need the other filter on. I need the other words. And getting that filter on is the tricky part.
Yeah, I've always wondered how that works, code switching. Is it a different grouping of synapses in the immediate vicinity, or is it a hijacking and attaching to new synapses? That's probably more likely. A hijacking of some synapses, but attaching it to new synapses at the same time.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can speak for myself, but I don't know what the logic, what the science behind it is.
I'm basically doing like ancient Greek philosophy where they were like, there's some stuff, so there's got to be little stuff. I'm basically doing that for modern science right now. So like whatever I say is bullshit.
It's science had to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, I think science advances on bullshit like that too. Just
for sure.
Dumb questions that are drunkenly explored to their limits.
You have to find out which bullshit is right and which bullshit is not.
Mm-hmm. Francis Bacon said you had to put nature on the rack, torture nature, get all its secrets from it. That's what science does.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Really?
Well, I mean, I guess that's what science does, but I don't know if that's the best course of action.
Well, the British won, and they really like that Francis Bacon guy.
Yeah. They're not really looking like
winners.
Not really looking like winners today, though.
I mean,
what did they lose at this time?
What are they losing, Julian?
There's all kinds of migrants coming over. The whole country's broke.
No, their nobles feel fine and dandy. They are well integrated into the world empire. They have their dark money and their little holdings all over the Commonwealth and little speck islands like Guernsey and, God knows where. The British as a nation, because of the happiness of their nobility, are doing very well right now. Because of their, they will be fine.
Actually, speaking of their nobility, I bet Harry is pretty happy with his book sales.
Ah, fuck, man. Did you hear about that? Did you watch the interview? I didn't watch the interview, but
I did not. I'm getting a lot of it secondhand.
Me too.
I try not to pay attention to anything about that.
Me too.
I have a very quick summation of my Harry opinion, which is I couldn't care about anything he has to say, not a thing, except for perhaps did his family whack his mom? Because I'm all in on that conspiracy theory. I don't think we do anything about it, but I just want to be right, right? Queen Elizabeth whacked that bitch.
You're talking about Diana, right?
Yeah, sorry.
For sure. There's no debate there. That's what happened. Yeah. And then Princess Diana was reincarnated as that what's his name? Julian? Do you have his name on hand?
Oh,
The famous K-pop idol.
you're right.
Kwang Jung?
Yes. Yep.
I don't think it's Kwang Jung.
I think it's Jungkook.
Young
Yeah.
Gook? Come on, it can't
Yeah.
be that.
Nope, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if that's how you.
You're
pronounce
not doing
it exactly.
a bit?
No,
No,
but
no.
this is a bit I've wanted to do for a while, so I'm glad we're here.
Yeah.
But Diana, why is he reincarnated as her, whatever?
Fear of cars, fear of driving. I think that was a big one.
You have a fear of driving.
Yeah, no. Let me go on. I have a fear of driving. Yeah, maybe I'm Princess Diana.
You are
but I'm
pretty
not.
queenie.
Listen, honey. I'm not Queenie. I'm the Queen. Get it right. What? I forget. There was a whole post. It was a whole thread about it.
Yeah.
Fear of rats. Shares the same birthday. They have like the same nose. People have gone in and mapped the nose
This
of these people.
Korean man has the same
Yeah.
nose as the okay.
Right? That's the thing. A Korean man should absolutely have a completely different genetic structure from Princess Diana, but there they are with the same nose or whatever it was.
All right, I'm convinced of that, but yeah, just to bring it back to Harry because this is ridiculous.
You're wasting a solid 20 minutes of content, just letting you know.
All right, go off,
Yeah,
King.
you could say
I do
Jungkook
want
a
it.
couple more times.
I don't want to hear
Jungkook?
Is it
Jungkook?
Jungkook?
Is that maybe how?
Don't
it's
say
pronounced?
gook anymore, Julian. That's not correct. It's so racist.
I'm trying to pronounce it the way they pronounce it.
You're
Yeah,
just
my
killing me.
Korean is awful. I can't even read Hangul. Come on.
I don't even know what it is.
I was
Come on, man.
I was
That's the
outside
Korean written languages.
I was
I know.
outside a bar one time with a couple guys from law school, and one guy was Asian, right? And he was really drunk. And he, at strangers, he would put on a very stereotypical Asian accent at them,
Right.
and just start yelling at them. And they would just kind of like walk away. And I was like, man, that's crazy. You fucking, can you imagine me trying to do that and get away with that? And he goes,
You could bust out an Irish accent whenever you wanted. No one would question it.
I guess maybe I don't believe in myself. I would go for like a Croatian accent. I
wait.
think I could believe in that longer.
This
But
person actually was Asian, though.
Yeah, he was Asian.
Oh, okay.
And,
It's not as
and
funny, but
but anyways, he turns to me and he goes, "I'm Chinese, motherfucker." And I went, "Man, you're Korean. Look at you. I can tell you're Korean." and he looked at me and he went, "You're a strange white boy, Jake." And then he moved on. But I was correct. He was Korean. Like,
What a conversation. What a way to end the bit.
yeah.
Jacob was right all along.
I was right. Like, he was just trying to fuck with me more because he's like, all these white people are just idiots. I can say whatever I want. These NPCs, right? That was his fucking outlook, basically. Well, he's had a few, which is funny. I'm not going to shit on that.
Yeah, I bet not a very isolated worldview either.
No,
I looked up how to pronounce his name just for everybody. It's Jungkook.
Ah, great. Wonderful.
Yep. There we go. Learning moment.
A learning moment for all of us.
That doesn't sound correct either, but I'm just gonna.
Oh, you can take that up with YouTube.
What's his name? Spell it.
I put it in the chat there.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got the thread here. Let's go through the details. Let's go through the
glad you
points.
found it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
the-
20 minutes, by the way. for
Remember,
everybody at home.
that's okay, but remember that I want to get back to Harry at the end of it.
I don't
Right.
think this is going to be 20 minutes. You're fine. The post begins with a pair of photos of Jungkook and Princess Diana in a very similar pose, looking almost identical.
All right, Julian, I owe you a fucking apology. Sorry to interrupt, but I would have totally said young Gook, right? That's
Right?
like,
He's not wrong. Okay, first post. First point. The day after Princess Diana passed away, Jungkook was born. So Princess Diana died August 31st. This guy was born literally the next day on September 1st.
he does look
That's
like
a spirit swap.
That's crazy.
That's a spirit swap. It's straight up soul went out of her body after that crash and latched on to the to the first Korean boy that it found.
He's a
That
pretty
kinda
lad.
looked like her.
They were both born on the first of their months.
Yeah.
They were both born in the year of the ox.
Wow.
Apparently,
I love
apparently,
nonsense conspiracies like this. I just
Right?
I can't get
How do you,
enough.
how do you even argue this? There's
Yeah. Yeah.
there's no base to argue against. It's just airy nonsense. But I want to believe it because it's fun.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at too. But like, imagine like someone seriously came at you with this, and you gotta be like, that's like crazy, right? Like,
No, dude,
I don't think
we
I
are
don't think I'd
seriously
have it in
coming.
me.
We're seriously coming at all of our listeners with this. Like,
Yeah, if you don't
Integrate
buy
this.
into this,
integrate it into your belief system.
I believe it because it's funny, and I can choose to believe things like that because I already believe so much more reality than the everyman that I can account for a little foolishness every once in a while.
you can be a little silly if you want. Let me see. Mr. Jungkook is associated, for some reason, associated with being a royal in a past life. I think that has to do with like
In a past
his-
life, so
his astrological whatever.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
like,
I was gonna say
linked to
like
royalty.
Diana, because that's what he's already claiming is that he's from a
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
So,
you're gonna have to ask the ladies on TikTok for more about that topic.
That's so funny.
That's kind of beyond us. That the past life astrology stuff.
Yeah, I mean, astrology is not my forte, but here we are.
I saw the best.
Apparently,
Sorry, I'm interrupting. I saw the best
No,
bit
go
about
for it.
astrology the other day, and it was this comedian, and he was like, "I think astrology women are just crazy. There's just like no way to reach them," and then he goes, "But maybe I would say that because I'm a Libra, right?" And then a bunch of women in the crowd go, "I knew it!" like audibly, right? And he goes, "Yeah, it makes so much sense after I say it, right? Too bad I'm not a Libra. I'm an Aquarius." And then another girl goes, "I knew it," right? And he goes, "How do they not get it? How do they not get it?"
probably could have kept the bit going through all the star signs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 3 or 4 more before they fucking caught on, right?
Yeah.
And just repressed it momentarily. There would be no spark of like knowledge there. It would just be right back into it afterwards.
Huh. Okay. Here's another fun point, right? We all remember the Queen died, middle of last year.
Yep.
Was it
Right.
a year ago already?
It was half a year, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Do you remember which day it was?
June something, right?
Yeah, Twitter sure does. It was June 13th.
That's my mom's birthday. I should remember that.
Oh, well, that's a fun overlap. But another fun overlap is that on that day, the stuff is so bonkers I can't say it with a straight face. On that day, Jungkook's astrological projection gave him the number 6 as his lucky number
Yeah.
and tarot card number 13.
Well,
Diana coming back from the dead to exact her revenge. Furthermore, philosophers theorize, certain philosophers. I won't name who. I won't name names because I cannot. This is secondhand. I do not have the base research here.
I'm all in on this, so it's okay.
Philosophers theorize that every 25 years, a reincarnated person has a 7-day window of consciousness to fulfill their old dreams or desires.
That's
And guess what? Guess what? During that week, this man had to call off events because he was really, really uncharacteristically tired.
how many? This happens every year.
25
Every
years.
25 years.
Every 25 years, and he just happened. Was Diana tired at like age 7? Can we get the? She's pretty rich. I'm sure those records exist.
Maybe we have the health records of Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Let's see here. They both love music. They both love dance. They're both introverts. Try to hide their eyes with their hair. Extremely athletic. It's reported that Princess Diana wanted to learn Taekwondo. Ooh,
And
Taekwondo,
this
the martial art
Korean
of the Korean
knows
Peninsula.
Taekwondo.
Um, yeah. Hey, guess which personality type Diana was? INFP.
Oh, they
Guess
had
what?
that shit back then?
Another match.
When was that? When did that shit come out?
I don't know, man.
Oh, fuck it.
Says personality type INFP.
All right. I'm going back.
She was born July
I'm
1st,
done.
by the way.
I'm done.
But there's so much more of this thread. There's so much more.
No, we get
He
it.
has a crown tattoo on his finger. On his finger. The tattoo, it looks suspiciously like her tiara. Tiara. Yeah.
Tiara.
I'm going to butcher every vowel in that word.
Where was he on June 13th last year?
Wouldn't you like to know? Wouldn't you like to know, white boy? Huh? Because you can't prove it.
Diana was dating an Egyptian billionaire, and I think they just whacked her just because they found that embarrassing. They just
Probably. They probably just didn't even want to be around her. They're probably like, oh yeah, commoner, kill it,
kill it.
kill it. Get
Honestly,
the bug spray.
The Chapo boys always say, at least the old nobility used to just like hunt peasants on a horse. And I do feel that, right? Like the nobility, I'm tired of them smiling at me. They're fucking scumbags. At least recognize them as scumbags.
Yeah, or try to pull the whole, virtuous scumbag look, At least give me something back if you're gonna be two-faced about it. At least give me some tax breaks, Give me some bags of rice. You didn't have to laugh at that. That gag was drawn out.
Yeah. You're a
Well, I'm just going to keep going then. Let's see here.
No, come on, please.
Did you know they both have the same height? Exact same height. Exact. Down to the centimeter. Same height.
This young Korean man and this young white woman are the same height. Incredible. It's like
absolutely.
It's
bonkers.
Like statistically, like almost a certitude that was going to be the case, right?
Down to the centimeter? No. Come on.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
I bet
the
you
same exact numerical value. You're telling me that doesn't strike you as a little suspicious?
Not at all. I bet you 80% of the Korean male population is within, 3 or 4 inches of her height. 2 inches of her height, I'll even say.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to keep going. Did you know that Jungkook is afraid of microwaves? Terribly afraid.
I did know that.
Yeah. Crazy.
I'm the one that made him afraid.
That's great. We're going to talk about that later. But did you know that Princess Diana once accidentally started a fire because of a microwave?
I didn't know that.
What is going on here, people? What are these connections? What's going on?
Wake up, sheeple.
Wake up. This is big news. We need to get on this guy's case and grill him.
Yeah.
We need to get him on the show.
Oh my
Celebrity
God, yeah.
superstar, Korean idol, Jungkook.
Are we going to have Prince Harry on to ask him if he thinks that'd be way better. Let's have Prince Harry on and he can.
What? No, I don't want some stinky white boy on our show. We've already got 3.
Just blindside him with this conspiracy. That'd be so.
No, we're openly inviting him in with the conspiracy. That's the invitation.
Yeah, he thinks he's.
All we want to know is his take on it. Get 2 billion views from the fangirls, and say thanks, buddy. Have a great flight back home. He doesn't even need to leave his house. He could just join the Discord.
For sure, that'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll send him an email.
Yeah. Get Charles to pen something together. I think this would be a great initiative for the show. I think we're missing out. Here.
Yeah, I'll send one to Jungkook while I'm at it as well. Just to see.
Okay. Yeah. What?
Well, maybe he wants to come on too. Maybe he'll hear about what we're talking about, and maybe he's got some stuff to say.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. If I'm going to send one email, I might as well send 2.
You might as well, right? Just do a batch. Just carbon copy.
Yeah.
I am finally returning to Harry.
All right.
I can't I can't stand listening to the guy because, he's just had such a privileged life. Got the best education. He's had, like, he's been tested, but in a way that he's always been safe and never, really been any danger to fail. And, like,
Hmm.
tested in a fun and exciting way at the tip top of, human innovation in society. Like, what a fulfilling life he's had. And then on top of that, he's been nailing supermodels and shit like that, which, that can't be bad for the spirits, if I can.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah, Julian, I think you're lending support. Uh, but
I mean, it's either good for the spirit or very bad.
maybe. I bet you my spirit could do with some supermodels. But who am I to wish upon a star? But anyways, he's got all this in his life, right? He's a war hero, technically, even though all he did was kill a bunch of civilians from a helicopter, an Apache helicopter.
Hmm.
Great move.
He's done everything you can want to in life, like everything that is exciting. He has houses, he has luxury, he has everything.
The male fantasy.
And all he fucking does is bitch and complain, like non-stop. Like,
That's his job.
my rich noble uncle from fucking Britain, who is accused of horrid rape crimes. It was a little bit racist to my wife. Go Gadget, get over it, you fucking tard. Right? I hate him
No.
so much. Like,
That's his job, is to draw attention from the rest of the royals, and man, he does a great job.
do you think that's his actual job? That he's like
Kinda.
I think in this day and age, the extended royal family is just all about causing drama. What else are they good for? It's just for views. It's just for clicks at this point.
Yeah. Like, if there is a member of the royal family that wants to be in the media, then they have every incentive to just, like, let them do that so they can remain kind of in the shadows a little more.
yeah, that is there. I guess I've never thought of it that way. But I don't know, man. As an institution, the crown has always been very conservative, very slow to change, and they've always been of the opinion that, you just don't do fucking stuff in the media. You try and avoid it as much as possible because it's always bad. Because,
Yeah, well,
they're a bunch of inbred racists. And
that's why he's technically not a royal anymore.
yeah, an ex-royal, and we still have to hear from him all the time.
Yeah, it is very tiresome.
The royal institution is one where we shouldn't hear from the royals ever. And he was never even really in line. And now he's just an ex-royal. And all I do is hear from this guy, bitch and complain. Like, what fucked up world? That's the American Empire right there. The evilness of the American Empire. You associate that shit with, like, the Kardashians. Any fucking toxic online or media personality that is just disgusting and bad for society. You just chalk that up to the American Empire.
Okay, I'm running out of room on the chalkboard here, but I'll squeeze another tally in somewhere.
It's a
You're
big
gonna have to
chalkboard,
get back
too.
to me. It's wall sized. It's wall to wall.
Yeah.
Literally, I had that thought the other day that they're responsible for everything wrong in the world after 1918. There was a real brief window where everyone was like, what about a world government? Let's do a world government. And Woodrow Wilson went, yeah, we could do a world government. And then he gets home and, like, I can't remember. I think it was still the Democrats at that time who were the Southern racists who were like, nah, fuck you. We ain't doing that shit. World empire. And that's what happened.
And so it was, and so it shall be, until it's not.
It drives me nuts that, like, all human progress and art and culture and achievement and even military conquest that we can be proud of throughout history, and we're like the civilizational cucks of the descendants of Confederates. Like, it's crazy to me. It is such a weird turn of events in history.
That's how the egg cracks.
It's how the cookie crumbles.
That's how the pepperoni gets chopped.
When I was about 11, some kid broke another kid's cookie, at lunch, and he went up to the teacher and said he broke my cookie, and I remember I could see on the teacher's face, like, what do you want me to do? Literally, fuck off, right? And so I just piped up, it's just the way the cookie crumbles, and she died. She died laughing. It was our French teacher, the one before she moved away, Julian.
Yeah, Madame Ucamp.
No, before her.
Oh, well.
Well, you tried.
Still gotta bleep that. What's that, 30 minutes?
Yeah. Julian writing down a timestamp. Oh, he literally has. That's
Jacob,
wonderful.
do you want me to bleep your mom's birthday?
It's just a month and a day.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Might as well bleep it.
Yeah, just blank birthday. You can bleep me there too to keep it anonymous.
Yeah, there's gonna be a long string
you can bleep
of
me whenever
bleeps
you want.
here as we discuss what's being bleeped earlier in the show.
This is
bleep bleep.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun episode to listen to. There's just going to be a bunch of horns and then just like 15 minutes on why this young Korean boy is the reincarnation of one of the sexiest women ever. Confusing me.
I'm actually really excited for this to be like our primary topic of the episode, because I think if I tag it right with like a whole bunch of BTS and Princess Diana conspiracy, I think we might get a lot of views on this one.
That'd be dope.
Listen, folks, we need to convince Jacob. Comment on Podbean to let him know how wrong he is, how misguided he is.
It is kind of a mirror on this show how radical we are, that like all three of us were just like, no, the crown killed her, right? And like then we were playing with it, is she been reincarnated into a Korean boy? That was where the meat of the bushing went. We are truly radical and crazy.
If you give children toys, they will play with them.
Yeah. I'm not 100% she was killed in a conspiracy, but like it doesn't make any difference to me one way or the other. You know.
Once again, it doesn't matter, but it's fun to latch onto. Come on, of course she got hit. It was a hit.
You think?
Oh, absolutely. You think that car just slid off the road?
Kinda.
That's not how cars work, dude. You drive.
Man, I slid off the road last week.
In the winter, in the middle of a blizzard.
I suppose.
She was just chilling out in the middle of the summer in England.
Yeah. I'm going to adopt a new and slightly different conspiracy and say that it was actually the vehicle manufacturer that conspired to kill Diana.
That's why.
Okay.
Because.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I'll expand on that next episode, maybe.
Sure. Yeah. Right. If you all want to hear Julian's hot take, don't forget to comment on Podbean.
That's actually a Patreon locked content. You can only get that for $5.99.
Oh yeah, that'll be on the premium.
Don't comment on Podbean. Subscribe to YouTube and join. Isn't that how you join on whatever? Anyways, I had a fun story. Not fun at all. Taking it back to school time. Once at lunch, in kindergarten, I was eating my sandwich, and this other kid sitting across from me goes, "I'm gonna eat your sandwich," and I dead ass looked at this kid and said, "If you eat my sandwich, I'll kill you." I was 4 years old.
See, Julian, let's revisit a topic from another episode. Violence is implicit in humanity. That kid was almost fucking murdered over that sandwich. Julian, DJ, it was totally serious at that age.
Yeah,
100%.
It was my sandwich.
You don't
mess with a kid's sandwich.
He lacked only the means, really, to kill that kid, not the fucking motive, not the fucking.
He didn't even ask, like, "Hey, can I have some?" You know, didn't even offer to share. Didn't even offer a barter. Just said, "I'm gonna eat your sandwich."
You responded correctly.
Absolutely, I was being assailed. Yeah. I was merely defending what was rightfully mine.
You were standing your ground.
You should write down this time as well. Who was that? Out of fucking curiosity.
Oh, you think I remember who I was talking to when I was 4? I just remember it happened because I've been told It's like that's the story that comes up at every family conversation.
That's funny. Oh man,
Oh,
they
did
got
this,
back
like-
to your family.
Yeah, did
Oh,
the
yeah.
teacher tell your parents?
Yeah. That's
Oh
great.
man, I've had so many of those dumb instances where, hey, your child said this ridiculous thing. We're kind of concerned. And my parents
Jesus.
just go, yeah, we don't care. Even though looking back on it now, they probably should have. But that's a story for another time.
Hi,
That's
yeah, your
really
fourth
funny.
grader was uttering threats.
No,
Basically.
honestly, he was just doing his history. No further appeasement. The kid was like, Sudetenland, and he was like, I'll kill you if you try that shit. And peace in our time was the result.
Lo and behold, I ate my sandwich and no one got hurt.
Yeah.
Just a mild threat was all it took.
Yeah. Peace is the bigger stick. I don't know. You want to talk about Ukrainians?
Sure. How are they doing?
I don't know. I think
Probably pretty bad.
I think
Ukrainians?
poorly.
You mean?
Oh,
Sorry.
I don't get
Julian.
it.
I thought you were over that.
Nope.
What slur could that possibly be? That's like
That's the magic.
Well, he said, of course. Didn't
You're
you hear him?
you're
He
supposed.
just said, and then we both acted like it was nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely said, and here we are now.
I'm so upset that we had to hear that.
Yep. Well, so you just
Anyways,
we had one learning moment where we unlearned some racism, and so we now lean
you're
into
just catching us up, eh?
imaginary racism. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Jacob, you had a real thing to talk about?
Yeah, I
I do too.
Oh, okay.
okay, go ahead.
The Ukrainians, they're flying all kinds of drones, from what I hear.
I haven't
Yeah.
heard. I haven't heard that. Tell me about that.
They sea drones that just like flit along the surface
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
in combination with aerial drones.
Huh.
Apparently did quite a number on a Russian naval base.
The Russian Navy has no ability to operate anymore. They got to give up on that shit, in my opinion. But I
It's
think,
been their kryptonite for centuries.
I think,
Let it stay that way.
yeah, really. Like, I think he knew that going into the conflict, that he was probably going to lose his Baltic fleet.
Yeah.
Because, the American aid will obviously aim for missiles, and Americans are obsessed with getting rid of naval targets, right? Obviously, it's critical to their national strategy.
Hmm.
But,
Wait, sorry, Jacob, didn't they take out a bunch of tanks with those drones too? Weren't
Yeah.
they just hurling drones at things for a while there?
both
Yeah.
sides are really. The real competition is a debate between high-end, medium, and low-end drones right now. Do you swarm low-end drones? Do you use medium drones, like a fleet of medium drones to try and counteract that and just take losses? Or do you use really high-end drones to just strike without being able to be struck back? And obviously,
This
Yeah.
is just all coming back to StarCraft.
yeah, really, it ends up being that all of warfare throughout all of history is like a big game of rock paper scissors in a row, right? Like, and anyways, the answer, as you're correct with your StarCraft reference, is a little bit of everything.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was the Zerg Rush.
Well, obviously it's the rush, right? Offense, they call there in warfare studies. There's something called the cult of the offense.
Hmm.
And it's something that rises over and over and over again, and it's just like ingrained in people who want to fight, I'm pretty sure. And it's
Yeah, the best defense is a good offense.
yeah, obviously you take it to them, right? Because you're an aggressive person if you want to fight, right? So it just kind of naturally reinforces itself. I don't know why I brought all that up.
Well, it was informative. We're balancing
Yeah.
out the racism again.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
get
talking
back
about
to
army
that.
stuff.
The Ukrainians. No,
Sure.
sorry. We can do the swarm of drones bit for a bit more. I think the Iranians have mastered the perfect drone, which is a upper end mid tier drone that
Right.
does,
The Goldilocks drone.
yeah, exactly. You also need every infantry unit, every soldier needs his own little personal drone on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to be replaced all the time because, like, they need to be able to, in their squads, be like, okay, Jimmy, you use your drone as a flying explosive. You know, like,
Yeah.
none of this drop grenade shit. I've been really looking into that. I don't think I've seen anybody been got from that drop grenade from the drone shit. It just looks nonsensical. They see
Yeah.
it fall, they fucking run away, it does nothing. Every
Also,
time.
they're not that quiet.
No, the drones
Yeah.
are not quiet. Yeah, like, for sure. The little ones should be used for attacks where you're in contact with the enemy and you need to see where their position is and how many of them there are, like little scouts.
Yeah, recon.
Yeah, right. And then the upper medium tier ones should be for close air support strikes that can be lost. You know, you lose one of them, big deal. It's like losing a Ford F-150 in money. You know what I mean?
Not a great analogy, but yeah, I get you.
It's cost about the same.
Yeah, the Ford F-150 is pretty expensive.
Yeah, but like, how much is a fucking...
On a military scale, I get what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, a QM1 Predator drone or something like that is like a couple $1 million, right? So,
Ugh.
Yeah. Like a used F-150 too, probably.
yeah.
Bet you could make a drone out of an F-150.
And then those personal drones, those are like only like $400 a pop, right? And that's
Yeah.
like less than some shells cost, right? Like,
Yeah, you could buy those at Canadian Tire.
weapon of the future for sure. They need to get to the point where they have really small drones that act on AI swarms and then all blow up, you know, when they get
they're probably
proximity.
working on it.
They probably have them already, but
Yeah.
I'm sure they're expensive.
Yeah. Boston Dynamics is rolling them out next summer.
Anyways, the Ukrainians.
Uh-huh.
I said several, maybe even a dozen episodes ago, many moons ago, that the Ukrainians don't exist as a people, and I am going to amend that statement. And
Okay.
they do, but they're not Ukrainians. They're Ruthenians. I'm going to say Ruthenians exist as a nationality or an ethnicity, and that
Okay.
that when the SFSRs, the socialist republics, were put in the 1920s, the Ruthenian minority took the opportunity to establish itself in a position of dominance in Ukraine over and above what was basically a Russian majority fucking region. And so, the Ukrainians are just the Ruthenians. So I was wrong. The Mongols didn't wipe them out. They did exist there. They do have their own kind of language. It is kind of there.
Yeah, it's kind of it's got a relationship, right?
It's hard for me to imagine, though, right? Because where is the Ukrainian history in between the Mongols being conquered? Sorry, the Mongols conquering almost all of them, right? Almost all of them, but the very western tip. After that, they were conquered by the Polish, and after that, they were conquered by Moscow. Like, they were never Polish, right? Like, no one would ever say that, but like, because the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, they didn't do any of that ethno shit. They were just like, nah, we rich and we dominate a bunch of these people around us. We ballin'. And then they just fucked up.
Would you then say that like a region like Finland doesn't exist?
Finland exists. Finland are a people. Finland, like, stretching back, noted by their neighbors as being different linguistically, having been there for forever, having fought to exist, right? Like, really poor example to pick. You could have said...
I don't know. How long have they been an independent nation?
1919, 1918.
Yeah, right.
But every nation that has conquered them hasn't, like when Kiev was under Moscow and when Helsinki were under Moscow, it was two separate things. Helsinki had like home rule and had Russian embassies that just kind of like looked in on everything, whereas Kiev was run by Russia, right? It was Russia. very different things. And
yeah, but
and
a
before
much
that,
closer culture and language group. Of course, they couldn't get away with the same thing in a Finnish region.
yeah,
And
but
I'm not even saying that the Russian part of it is what I'm talking about. I'm just saying
doesn't
throughout history,
doesn't the cult
Finland has
no it
been
does
absorbed in its neighbors.
doesn't the culture and language group define what a people are, right? Like you said, they have their own, and that's why they haven't been dominated. Like, what else could a nation be but a culture and a language?
Yeah, and the Ukrainian region had that?
Not to me, not
Their
really.
own dialect, their own culture, separate from their neighbors.
Yeah, and foods
When?
too, like
Because you said yourself, clearly
pierogies.
they're not Polish.
No, they're clearly East Slavic is what I like to say the language is,
Mm-hmm.
because it can't be separate languages like fucking Norwegian and Swedish and Denmark. I've listened to those closely. Those sound fucking hella distant. Whereas you listen to the Ukrainians and the Belarusians and the Russians, and it's just like stressing on accents. It's not a fucking different language in my opinion.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet. So we're just supposed to promote balkanization throughout the world. Wouldn't that lead to more war in the long run?
Huh? It's been working in the Balkans.
The word balkanization, referring to the Balkans, is to refer to the most fucked up part of the world that has just not been okay since like the 600s. Like,
Have you seen those theories that Southeast Asia is just the eastern version of the Balkans?
that's pretty funny.
Just
I like
a region completely haphazardly cut apart, and everyone just hates all their neighbors.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It's time to talk about Kevin McCarthy.
Sure, yeah,
Oh yeah, I forgot we were gonna do
that
that.
dude.
The only thing I have to report is that Matt Gaetz said that he only voted for him at the end because he had nothing more to ask for. And I don't know what that means, because in the original he showed up and was like, he wanted to be like the head of a board of Veterans Affairs or some shit like that. And he didn't get that. So I don't know what that could possibly mean. I had nothing else to ask for. I don't know what he got.
Yeah, probably just trying to save face.
I did do a little looking at what they
Oh,
got.
thank goodness, because I know nothing about this. I just know it's bad news.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it's bad news in my opinion.
it's just news, really.
Yeah,
Doesn't
when
affect
all the
anything
news is
yet.
bad. You make a good point.
Yeah. Let's see how many. It took 15 votes
Mhm.
before he
15.
finally was voted in, which was incredible because I think they were at it for like a week.
Yeah,
or 4 days.
It's been a
Here it
long
says.
time.
About a week. Yeah.
Yep.
And for
yeah.
for reference, what it usually takes 1 or 2 votes.
Yeah,
I
no.
assume so. Yeah.
The last time that there was a deadlock like this was 1855.
Wow.
Yeah, very foreboding in my opinion.
And it also illustrates just how fucking archaic the American political system is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wow. Yeah. I don't want to get started on how stupid their voting system is, but wow, it's stupid.
Yeah, we can come back to that.
Maybe one day.
What did he get?
So yeah, in order to win his vote, Kevin McCarthy made some concessions to the far right in his party,
Hmm.
which let's see, I'm on NBC News here. An
Matt
article
Gaetz,
from
Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Lauren
Don't-
Boebert.
don't spoil it though. I'm building up to it. We're gonna kill all 15 minutes perfectly here.
Oh, don't do that. I want to be able to comment. Like,
Oh
just
no, you
tell-
will. You will.
It's
Don't worry. I got time
incorporated
for that.
into the 15 minutes. Don't worry.
Yeah, NBC News, an article from Sahil Kapoor here that I'm pulling from.
Okay.
Some of the holdouts, and I have to touch on these because they're funny names. Well, there's one funny name, Chip Roy from
Chip Roy.
Texas.
Chip Roy.
It's not a real name.
Yeah, I bet he's got
Nope.
a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, on each shoulder.
Yeah, sounds like it.
These
If I had a last name like Roy, I would make sure that all my children's names were, really professional sounding, like William or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
I would make them end in oi noises.
Joy Roy.
Joy
Yeah.
Roy. It's unfortunate to have a double first name like that.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways,
Yeah.
onward with Sahil.
These the holdouts, the radicals in the Conservative Party are the Freedom Caucus, apparently.
Yuck.
No.
And the article says here they're known for wielding raw power and having a high tolerance for chaos.
Yeah.
I just thought that was great writing.
Until they get what they want.
Yeah.
And then that chaos is off the table, baby.
Anyways, McCarthy, he put up this framework
Okay.
of changes and rules to appease this group.
Yeah.
And that did the trick. And
What were the rules for what?
What were they?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I have to skim further.
Okay,
in order to get to
okay.
that. Hang on here. I did already read this article. I just didn't highlight it. The Republican rules package on Friday, here we go, includes these concessions. It will allow any one member to force a motion to vacate. So if 5 of them do that, then McCarthy's out of his seat.
Ooh.
As speaker, I think.
Interesting.
It makes it harder.
Just a motion. It would have to be a party vote after that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It makes it harder for the House to raise spending taxes and the debt limit. So that would be funny if that just creates massive fucking gridlock again.
The Chapel guys did a bit like that. The fucking spending limit is such a fucking kabuki show. It's such a non-threat. They're gonna raise the money every time because they're all cowards. But even if they don't, we live in the Brandon Imperium. Joe Biden will just print $1 trillion coin.
Yeah.
He'll just be like, "Fuck you. There's my money." Right? Like,
Yes.
you're cute, but I'm literally God Emperor of Earth.
That was Chapo's take, but personally, I could see it so that the government just shuts down for a couple of days, like it did a couple of years ago.
Yeah, good
Nobody
times.
was getting paid, nothing was getting done. That was funny.
That did hurt the Republicans in the polls because they were causing it, right? And everyone was like, "Whose fault is it?" And everyone was like, "The Republicans." And they were like, "That's
Just
shitty."
the fact that people still don't get it, they're willing to haha, sure, let's give them another shot. All right.
Dude, it's creeping fascism.
I know it
They
is.
will-
I know.
They will win. We've lost already in history.
Yeah. But we can have fun watching. So
You're having fun.
I mean, I am right now.
He's trying to make
I got
the
to say
most
some racist stuff.
of a bad situation. All right, let him live.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And the other big concession they got was more Republican seats on various committees,
Okay.
which will just add a slight right-wing pull to the government writ large, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of those being the Rules Committee, which I guess chooses what goes in front of the House.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a bit fuzzy to me.
Uh-huh.
Joe Biden really wants to run again. I think he should take his imperial powers to the fullest extent. Just cancel student debt, reform shit. Just start executively just writing shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, like Trump did
no
at
one's
the end
gonna
there.
stop you. No one can stop you, right? You
I-
are stopping you.
Personally, I think all of the wires are now inside Joe Biden's body, and he is just a total puppet of the Democratic machine.
A meat puppet?
Yeah, I think his brain went before he was even in office.
Oh,
and
for
they were able to
sure.
Just keep the charade going, but now it's not even Joe Biden anymore. I
He
don't
would
feel like
only
it's fair
be-
to call him that.
He would only be the third recorded, at least, brain dead president we've had, which is Woodrow Wilson and Ronald Reagan were both brain dead while in office.
Yeah, so
But they're making it work this time.
there's a pretty good precedent for it, I guess.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm, after all.
Yeah, no, Biden's gonna run again, and it's just gonna be a fucking AI generated video of Joe Biden.
What if lightning strikes the generator on the White House and there's a hiccup and Joe Biden shuts down? It's late 2023, right? And they got to go across the hall into Kamala's office and be like, please don't run. Madam President,
This is
please don't run.
this is just starting to sound like Inside Job.
I've never seen it.
Robot President. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
A
great
robot.
show. It's on Netflix. Shout out to that show.
Getting canceled. What's up?
It is getting canceled.
Surprise, Julian.
Yeah, I know. The second season kind of ate shit.
Yeah.
The second half of the first season.
There was a leak. I don't know. It hasn't been confirmed or anything. The fandoms lost their shit already, though.
How far can that bit go? Ooh, he's a robot.
Oh, that's not the whole. That's not the whole show. That was the main gag of the first bit.
Exactly, but if that's the main gag, you can't extend that at all. You can't oh, he's not a robot. Actually, he's a good robot. I don't know. What do you do?
Yeah, he becomes a kind of ambiguous robot.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
He's funny. He's got good lines.
Yeah. There's it's more of a problem of the week kind of show, from what I remember.
Yeah.
So the robot president was the first problem, and then he was there still afterwards, but there were other problems.
Yeah.
So anyways,
I looked back into the Ukrainians thing.
Uh-huh.
I just wanted to say this thing because I was watching an 18-hour documentary on the Eastern Front in World War II. It came out in 2011, and I'd watched it in my youth, but I was rewatching it because I had watched a bit of it, and I realized that there was Ukrainian propaganda, Russian propaganda against Ukraine in it, right? And so I watched it scouring for it at that point, right? They really highlighted the Battle of Kiev and the defense of Odessa, and
Right.
how there were Ukrainian Nazis and collaborators, right? They really highlighted that shit.
uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, this is still one of the most bomb-ass documentaries there is out there, though. 18 hours on one war, gimme, right?
That's a lot of content. That's longer than the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and it's movie quality too. If you read if you listen to an audiobook, that can be 26 hours or even more, right? But a lot of it's really dry, and it's about relations between people and things like that. No, this was all hard hitting. Here's this guy. Look at this fantastic shit he did. He was shot in 1943.
Dang.
Over and over and over again, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But anyways, the one guy that made me do my deep dive on the Ukrainians was this guy named Vatutin, and he was a general until he was killed by Ukrainian collaborators, and so that made me do my deep dive. But I'm only bringing him up because his name was the Grand Master, and I looked into his battles, and the Grand Master's tactic that he invented was just hold the armor in a reserve line, and when they attack your first line, throw that armor at that first line. He's the most basic chess player of all time. I swear to God, the history of warfare is just the history of a bunch of bumbling fools managing more than they can handle at any time.
Hey, wait for the infantry to get in a scrum, and then send in the horses.
Honestly, when you read early ancient warfare, where it was just line up and do a scrum, some of the shit that wins a battle, sometimes Scipio Africanus lined up his troops every day for battle for 5 days with his heavy infantry in the middle, but on the fifth day he put them on the wings, and so he enveloped the enemy and he beat them. Right? just stupid shit, right?
Or
things you could not get away with today, and we think, well, modern warfare is so complicated and so much more than that, and it just wasn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got 300 tanks. I'm gonna put them in this area, and when they attack in this general area, I'm gonna rush them 300 tanks over there, and they're gonna fuck shit up. Literally, they called him the Grand Master for that.
Yeah, war never changes.
Yeah, exactly.
They called him Grandmaster Vatutin.
I knew you were doing that. That's why I pressed on so heavily. I was like, that Tootin' joke is coming.
You can't stop him. He's been holding that one in.
Yeah. Well, I just felt like that'd be a good note to end on.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Summer's coming, right? So
Summer's coming. That's right. Well, summer's coming, and we've got 10 more seconds here. So
10 more. Is
threw
summer
off
here
your
yet?
vibe.
Summer's not here
Summer's coming.
yet.
Like us on YouTube. Like us on Podbean.
Sure. If you
Are
want.
we on YouTube? Cool.
Yeah, we're on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, we're on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube right now. I've checked out.
Good. Yes, we're done. We've done our legal contractual obligation.
Right on.